Um, Hi everybody. So it's been a while since I posted a kind of like an original video on here. Like I haven't posted an original video on here since like July. Why is that? Why as a content creator I have sort of like abandoned you guys as I do all my other platforms like Twitch, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all that jazz. Well, here's the gist of it. I got burnt out. Plain and simple. I just got burnt out on trying to make YouTube videos on here. And you may be asking, well, Dice, how can you be burnt out when you're still doing all those other videos on your TikTok and stuff? Well, let me explain. It's a lot easier to do a short form content and stuff like 15 to 60 seconds. I can whip those out pretty easily. Sometimes I will do a 3-minute video where I just like talk about stuff, or I make like a music video as thing with a little sprinkle of story and everything. And YouTube doesn't really support kind of like short form format. I mean, it kind of does with like YouTube Shorts, but mostly the stuff I upload on YouTube Shorts have been re-uploads from my TikTok, and I've always wanted to create like original content on here to help boost up things. Not to mention, I also kind of felt lazy of just like re-uploading my other stuff from like TikTok over here, because that was just like giving me some lazy vibes, and I don't want to be lazy when it comes to content creating. And I kind of spread myself pretty thin when it came to creating content on here. I would do basically everything as a content creator. A D&D contenter specifically. Like I have had like so many start and stop projects that I kind of like gave up on because I just got like really nervous, or just like I got scared they wasn't gonna do well. I did videos about D&D races, classes, and lore. I did D&D skits. I talked about D&D media. I did so many things. I was trying to like throw out a net and trying to catch like everybody in, and I just sort of lost who I was for a bit. I kind of lost my identity of who I was as a D&D content creator. And chasing the dragon and trying to do all the things, I sort of, well, broke down. I would get massive anxiety trying to figure out what to do on YouTube, and I just shut down completely. And also, if you guys don't know, I am currently in school, and oh boy, has that been super stressful. And it's only been like the 3rd week of school, and I'm already turning my hair gray and screaming for bloody murder. I'm trying to balance things out as a content creator and as a college student, and I just feel like I'm getting swallowed up. One of the things I go by as a content creator on here is that you guys deserve the highest quality content that I can make, because without you guys, I'd be nothing. I'd be nada, zilch, kaput. Your support means the world to me, and giving you guys the best content possible is the best thing I can do as appreciation for what you've done for me. And while doing all the things as a content creator would do and everything, I sort of realized that I wasn't doing things that I was good at. And that burned me the hell out. When I first hopped on TikTok, I wanted to tell stories. I love telling stories. Ever since I was a kid, I love to perform and tell stories for people. And that's what I want to do. I am a writer. I love creating characters, lore, world building, having them interact with people, and just seeing what kind of like massive chaos and a bundle of fun that you get from just like improvising and having all of these things in one playpen. I love making plot points that can either make people laugh or cry. I love analyzing D&D and other TTRPGs on how they tell stories and how you can implement that into your game. I love sharing stories that I've written for you guys, like the Fighter Saga. I love the Fighter Saga so fucking much. I love how it's just connected with you people, and it makes my heart smile. I want to tell stories, and I want to share them with you. So we're going to go back to basics. We are going to play to our strengths, telling stories, talking about D&D and how you can incorporate any kind of writing skill into D&D. and also what it's like playing a TTRPG as an autistic person. Because if you guys don't know, I'm autistic, and I'm a proud person of like showing off like positive representation in autism and stuff, and just like talking about that in the D&D space. So I think that would be pretty cool as well. So here's what we're gonna do. Badly Explain, the series where I badly explain D&D classes, races, and lore. That's going on the shelf. Like, not gonna lie, trying to come up with jokes and like ways to like badly explain things wasn't really like my favorite thing to do, because I just felt like I was just like reciting things word by word and just like throwing like a meme joke in there every once in a while, so I wasn't really getting satisfied making that stuff. What I love is the role-playing aspect of characters and how you can play them in your D&D game. So I'll be creating D&D videos of how you can write D&D classes, races, and lores without falling into the tropes and like adding a new spin on things and everything, you know? If you guys are interested, I'll also break down the classes for beginners to see how they can play D&D and like understand the basics of it. I also want to review D&D books, like fiction books, like series from like Dragonlance or the Forgotten Realms or any of like the original D&D characters that Wizards of the Coast use in their fiction line and everything. I want to talk about those because as a fellow writer who loves to read books and everything, I want to dive headfirst into that. And that seems like a lot of fun. And there are so many books in the Forgotten Realms series in Dragonlance, like so many D&D fiction books, and you don't see a lot of people talking about that. And I kind of want to like, you know, show a nice little spotlight for like one side of D&D that people don't really talk about that much. I also want to talk about D&D products like modules and supplements. Hell, maybe we can talk about D&D media like video games and movies. But I also want to talk about other TTRPGs. Now, I love D&D. D&D is a fantastic game. But there's just something about exploring a new world with a new system that someone has given you and say like, hey, try out our world, try out our mechanics. It's maybe it's a little bit similar to D&D, maybe it's a whole hell of a difference. It's just how they incorporate role-playing into their system always fascinates me, and I want to share that with you guys. I also want to share my stories with you guys on here. If you guys don't know, I run a series called The Fighter Saga on my TikTok. It's basically a series of a group of adventurers living their daily lives as adventurers while also having tragic moments because, well, you know, I'm the tragic guy. So I want to do a podcast here where I tell, like, So I want to do a podcast on here where I tell stories, side stories of like characters from the Fighter Saga. Hell, I've also been like working on like a podcast where you can just have like interesting NPCs to meet out in the world and everything, and you just have like this monologue of them just kind of like giving you a mission, a little bit of the world, or just kind of like their big old side quest that's kind of like tethered to them and everything. I want to try that out. That seems a lot of fun. VODs from my campaigns on Twitch, like new roles, are also going to be on here, which you guys should totally check out because we're live every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Central. You guys gonna tell by the new setup, I am currently living in one of the school apartments on here. And being that it is an apartment, I have to pay rent. And oh boy, is that frightening. Currently, I'm looking into like some part-time jobs that are flexible with student hours and everything, or I'm also looking into, well, study pay. It's the thing where you do that, like, if you study, you get paid or something like that. You guys know what I'm talking about. My brain's a little bit fried right now. I've had a long day. I have enough money for 2 months of rent, and after that, that's where things get a little rocky. But if you guys want to like help out and like send a few bucks along the way and like support the channel and everything, you can like, you know, check out my Patreon and Ko-fi. I kind of revamped it to play more with my strengths as we've been talking about here, so feel free to check that out. Badooms. What does that mean for me? Well, You're not gonna really see my face that often up on this channel. It doesn't mean that I'm going away. No, I'm still gonna be here. I'm still gonna be uploading videos, and sometimes you'll see my mug. But generally, you will be seeing, and I've been hinting at this for a while on my Twitter, my VTuber avatar, who's going to be kind of like running things. He's the stage manager of the YouTube channel that we have now called the Dice and Dragon Theater Company. His debut is going to be on September 16th on 7:30 p.m. Central. He will be the active storyteller and stage manager of the Dice and Dragon Theater Company. I think you guys will love him. I can't wait for you guys to see him. He is so fucking cool. And the artists, oh god, the artists have done so many great jobs. And I will be announcing who did the artwork for that on my Twitter very, very soon and what they look like. And yeah, that's all the stuff that's been going on, and then I wanted to share with you guys, you know? For the longest time, I feel like I have been on the cusp of wanting to do better and bigger things in like platforms like YouTube and everything. But I'm always like on the edge. I've been struggling for a while. I'm having fun while making content. Don't get me wrong. I love what I do. It's a lot of fun. I just gotta do the stuff that will elevate me to the next level and give you guys the best stuff that you guys deserve. And I think I'm ready for that. Videos on here are going to be either weekly or bi-weekly because I am a college student and college is like consuming most of my life right now. So it's a little hard to make content, but I'm gonna try and find a way. I will always will. So yee. I also want to thank you guys for being super fucking patient with me. Like, I feel like I've done this like so many fucking times, and you guys have always like been there and been patient with me as I'm like trying to figure stuff out and everything. And I really, really do appreciate what you've been doing for me. You guys are amazing. All right, I gotta go. Again, thank you so much, and thank you for listening to me. You guys are amazing, okay? All right, I'll see you later. Peace.